Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
We are Autosave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are back with Demon Slayer Season 3. I don't believe it's real. It's one of those things that you don't think is actually gonna happen until it is happening, and then you're like, oh my god, that was the best thing ever.
We're a little late for an April Fool's joke,
yeah.
so this definitely has to be real.
This was a late April Fool's joke. That'd just be
so
messed
mean.
up. Okay, so little bit about our experience with Demon Slayer. That's what we started the channel doing, really, after a No Way Home trailer or something, you know? This show means a lot to me. I love the universe, and last season, since it's ended, I probably bring it up at least once or twice a week to you about how it was my favorite thing ever, and the animation was just stupid, and nothing else can compare to it, and I love Demon Slayer, and I am extremely excited to get into this season. It is not without a little bit of worry from my end, if I'm completely transparent, because last season was just so perfect that nothing else could touch it. And I'm like, that wasn't even that long ago. How could you manage to produce something that has the same quality of animation and production value as that with this short amount of time?
I mean, not only last season, but Mugen Train, the movie.
Oh my god.
Both of those things. My worry is more plot driven,
gotcha.
I guess, and mainly character driven. I don't want to be introduced to any more Hashira and get to love them and desire more screen time with them and cry for them. I don't want to have to do that because Rengoku, and then obviously Tengen is not in the same situation as Rengoku. But still, I am worried about falling in love with another Hashira.
Or two.
Two for this season, and I'm really worried. That's what I'm worried about.
We're at a place that we're lucky and happy when one of our Hashira lose an eye and an arm. We're like, yeah, now you get to
alive.
retire, you know? But just a quick catch up for our sake. End of last season, we had the Snake Hashira meeting us at the end of the battle versus Daki and Gyutaru. And he was a little sassy snake boy. We know how he is.
Yeah.
And throughout that conversation, he was very, Tengen, you can't retire. We don't have enough Hashira right now. We haven't even replaced Rengoku. All the youngsters are dying before they can meet their potential. And then Tengen was like, not the one that you hate. He's almost there. Also, we had, it seemed like Akaza was going to meet with Muzan, or that's the vibe or impression I got. I don't know if we're really going to catch up with that for a bit, because obviously Tanjiro's doing his own thing. And we also, through that ending scene with Master Kaguya, learned or suspect that it's confirmation that there's a tie in between Muzan and the Master in terms of blood and family.
Familial connection.
Yeah, which is really interesting. There. We got the trailer we got one of the trailers. We watched a trailer about, I think, 3 or 4 months ago that told us who the Mist Hashira was, Muichiro Tokito, and the Love Hashira, Mitsuri Kanroji. And I assume that we're going to be learning a little bit more about them, right?
Either separately or at the same time.
Yeah, and last thing is that I need to know more about Genya, because he's the character that we kind of got a little snippet of in the first season, and then he went off to do his own stuff, and we've only gotten glimpses. So I'd love to see and learn about his character as well.
I think now could totally be the time for that.
Okay, let's leave this intro off on a question. Is this season going to heavily include Zenitsu and Inosuke like last season? Yes or no? Let's answer at the same time, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, no.
No. But that could be silly since we didn't see the latest trailer.
Yeah, it could be silly. But for some reason, I feel like this is going to be like a Tanjiro, centric
Me too.
story.
That's what I think. With these two Hashira.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
obviously Nezuko has definitely, from the ending of season 2, is definitely taking on her role as also a demon slayer.
Oh yeah.
So, yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm nervous.
Me too.
You ready?
Yes.
Sweet. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Ah,
The aftermath.
picking right up where we left off. Sweet.
I really appreciate picking up here.
Yeah.
In this sweet hug.
Those fingers, man. The blemish on his family.
That man.
Yep. This is the same scene that we ended last episode with.
Okay, Akaza, right? So cool. Imagine a battle in here.
It needs to happen now.
It'd be so
Holy
wild.
shit!
It's like the drum demon battle on steroids if one
Yeah.
happened here. Akaza's design is so good.
The alternate dimension. The
Infinity
Infinity Castle. The channels. Oh my god. How big? Infinity, I guess, right? God.
Was that the song from his fight with
Yeah,
Rengoku?
Yep. It just looks so good. The lips are the eyes.
Upper
Gyoko.
5.
And the eyes are
The
the
mouth.
lips.
They've all been summoned.
Yeah.
All of the
Cause of
remaining
the death.
uppers. Mm-hmm.
Hantengu. Doma. Oh! Was he the one who changed
Gyutaro,
Daki and
Daki.
Gyutaro? Oh, the animation.
上限の一様は最初にお呼びしました。
No. What? I don't like how familiar that hair looks.
There's no shot,
There's
right?
no shot.
This shot. Bro, Muzan's a chemist. Holy shit.
And with that parallel, would Nezuko be Tanjiro's weakness?
Compositing is so good, man. What the f-
It was so unnecessary to have him upside down there, but it was awesome.
So cool.
あなた様の期待に応えなかった時があったでしょうか。
産屋敷一族を未だに葬っていない恋彼岸花はどうした。なぜ何百年も見てるがわからなくなった。
It's the flower as a kid that he was looking at, the kid version of Muzan.
返す言葉もない産屋敷姿を隠している。
Okay.
私はつかみました。鬼の今しがた。わかだ。状況の変、ほとんどの場合劣化だ。衰えな好きなものは不変。 完璧な状態で様の手が私の頭にもういい
It looked like it was like blushing upside down under its lips.
110えようとするな
Oh, the scale.
もっと死に物狂いでやった方がいい
What is Akasa's deal?
この通りだ
うせろ赤座お前は度が過ぎる
よいよい国志望殿俺は何も気にし
憂いているの
Is he gonna turn around?
だよ国志望殿
Those eyes on his handle?
赤座殿は我らに勝てまいが後で鬼となり早く出世したのだから彼の内心穏やかではゆとりをも
赤座
Ah!
私の俺は必ずお前を殺す
Why do they make him so cool?
ここに飛ばしてくだされ
I hate how likable he is, you know?
誰も彼も釣れないな
神社の方がお見えです
ああ本当かいこれかぶってからどうぞどうぞ子守りをさせてしまって
気にするな
Is it like a branch family?
るのは大変なことだ
は命の恩人だあなたがいなければ俺たちどころかこの子も生まれていなかったあなたのことを後世に伝えますし後を継ぐ方がいなくて
No heirs.
はい炭焼きの俺には無理でも
Oh my
This is Tataro's
god.
dad, isn't it?
必要ない時代が変わろうともそこに
Black Blade.
祈りが違おうとも同じ場所に行き着く何の価値もない男なのだ
そんな風に悲しい悲しい夢か
大丈夫戦いの後2ヶ月間
2 months?
知らなかったのよ目が覚めて
Look at her smiling. That's like the most
I
emotion
know,
we've ever
I
seen
know.
from her. It's like the coin flip,
The
but
coin,
like
the
even
coin flip
better.
has changed her life. Hello, Goto.
さっさと起きねえかと言ったのが俺だ
That was me.
未だに意識が戻らないあいつへの贈り物なのだがいいらしいのでもしかしたら
Aww.
片付けるや何でもやりっぱなしだなこの子ございます
That's how it's done.
Such good reunions.
God, things would have turned out
I know,
very
it's
differently.
Very differently.
一時危なかったんです状態が悪かったの毒が回ったせいで呼吸による止血
てる伊之助は俺の見学
No, definitely not. Show me.
Your favorite character in
This is
fiction.
my favorite.
Oh my god.
Love so much.
すごいな
Aw, making us all worry.
外国のイタチです
Okay.
皮膚は鎧なんですよ同じだって忍様だ
Apt comparison.
Honey Borger?
のがめんどくさくなったのでは
せるってことだ。
早く回復してたくさん食べれるようになるといいですね。
He's worried.
I know.
Doesn't it feel like they're putting more emphasis on like the Tanjiro Kanao and then Inosuke on Aoi?
知らせたらその回復の
He looks irritated.
行ってくる。
Hello.
僕の任務に出っ張
Far away.
とにかくうる
眠ってる間に刀届いてないね。刃こぼれしてしまったやつなんだ。
Uh-oh.
塚さんからお手紙は来て
Oh, it's letters. Plural.
I don't want to see them.
お前にある刀はない。
What are they?
あったんですけど肩はちょっと気難しい方ですね。
Just a little bit.
But in a very endearing and lovable way.
親方様より許可が出ましたので私がご案内します。で名乗ることはできませんが
Interesting.
よろしくお願いします。目隠しと耳栓です。里は隠されています。それで
Interesting.
私が背負っていきますので。
のでカラスに案内されるが、そのカラスも同じで
The strength
入れ替わる。
of these people, though.
お気をつけて。いいやつだな。親方様のいる屋敷はもっと複雑な方法で隠された。頭がいい人ってすごいね。へえ、すごい建物ですね。
一番最初に挨拶しに行ってください。
はい。ました。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。
感謝の山彦が聞こえた。誰か来たのかしら。なんだかドキドキしちゃう。
What's her name? Mitsuri.
一番
The smallest person and the most important is me.
ホタルなんやけどな、不明になっててな。わしらも捨てん
Is that Haganeska?
ホタル？
そうや、鋼塚ホタル。
What? I hope he's okay.
小さい時からあんな風や。すぐ感触を起こしてどっか行き。
Okay.
刃こぼれさせたりするからで。
るような生黒を作った
It's a lot of pressure.
Oh, so he takes his frustration and guilt out on Tanjiro.
Wha-
ご安心ください。
No wonder he gets so upset.
行くから、まあゆっくり過ごして。
Do you think Mitsuri is still there?
Yes. Such a beautiful art.
Right.
危ない。
Oh my god.
He's so respectful. He's like, cover up.
私今そこで無視されたわない。私走らないのに。お風呂
Oh no.
Not all the good vibes.
みたいですよ。松茸ご飯だそうです。
The vibes are back.
Of course, she got ignored.
Yeah.
That makes a little
That
more
makes
sense.
a lot more sense. Genya, right?
ちゃんが教えてくれた名前。品津川玄也。死ね。
You know, that is normally how it works, but
ないって里の人が。
Interesting.
何か持ってきてる。
で握り飯でも持っていこう。
そうしましょう。おにぎり見てたらね、またお腹空いてきちゃったの。
なぜ鬼殺隊に入ったんですか？
聞いちゃう？あのね、
She was Rengoku's student, right?
殿方を見つけるためなの。やっぱり人がいいでしょ。女の子なら守ってほしいもの。わかる？この気持ち。なかなか会えないからね。自分も柱にならないとね。だから私すっごい頑張ったのね。
It's not a bad plan of attack given what
I
she's
mean,
looking
she's
for.
dedicated.
Yeah.
So.
刀が研ぎ終わるそうです。工房の方へ。
Her sword in the trailer looked like a ribbon, right?
もう行かなきゃいけないみたい。
How do you forge that?
なさらず。
多分深夜経つことになるから。今の炭治郎くんは 前よりももっとずっと強くなってる甘露寺みつりはかまど兄弟を応援してる。
ありがとうございます。もっともっと頑張ります。勝つために。
この里には強くなるための秘密の武器があるらしいの。探してみてね。
What?
The other Kikuchi
And
looked
now he
like
needs
they
to
were
meditate.
infatuated too, right?
ってなんだろうな。花かな。埋まってたりするのかな。宝探しみたいな。
I'm worried at
It's
what
love.
it is.
Friendship.
すごくいい
Good
ところなん
food.
だけど。君こそいい加減にしなよ。押し問答している時間。もう一人は
Miss Tashira.
確か柱のこうだ。
Too full of yourself.
霞柱。時藤無一郎。ほら鍵。渡さない。これは俺の先祖が作った大事なもの。だから渡さないって言ってるだろ。俺は誰だろう。知ってる。見覚えがある。
It has to be a statue or something, right?
Twin brothers?
You know what I'm scared about?
Hmm.
That the action takes place here. Like, if
This
you...
is such a nice village.
Yeah. Like, if you are, there's a secret weapon. We have a village
It's
full
a secret.
full of people who are key to our fight. We were told that people are looking for a blue spider lily, which is kind of a weapon. This could
And-
be like the biggest life or death, like,
This
battle.
village needs to be a secret from the demons.
It needs to be protected. If people come, they need to be killed. This could be like the highest stakes. Like, this wouldn't just, if they had a fight here, the
This is
stake,
the base of operations, basically, for Demon Slayers.
the stake isn't just like Tanjiro's life, right? It's the entire cause and forward path of defeating Muzan.
If you killed every single swordsmith in this village, I'm sure the art of the Nichirin sword would be lost.
Probably
伊之助さんはいつから天井に張り付いていたんでしょう。
7
Good.
days.
All 7 days.
人は少なくとも一度はしたってこと。違うのよ。
Oh my god, I love him so much.
Okay, that was Demon Slayer season 3, episode 1 and I guess 2, right?
It was a double.
Yeah. Inosuke has always been, has the potential to be alarming or scary or, a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever been scared of Inosuke to this point, because now I'm scared of making him worry, and I don't want Inosuke to have to worry.
The biggest turnaround that I have ever had in my life, the biggest change
Mhm.
of feelings that I have ever had is from Inosuke's entrance into this series and
Mhm.
how mad and disgusted I was by him, and how I was like, I could never like this
Mhm.
character, and now I'm like, I have a stuffed animal of him.
Yes, you
I
do.
love Inosuke. He's so precious.
Oh.
He's the best. I mean, he's so funny.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. We got so much. I'm like sweat. Like I
I mean,
am.
we got so much, and then like there's so many names that we got too that I'm like, I cannot keep them all straight right now.
Yes, and because of that, I'm going to we like to talk about the shows that we watched after we watched them for a little bit. But the first thing I want to get out of the way, and the names I want to get out of the way, because I will be reminded of them, I assume, very shortly, are Gyoko and Hantengu. Which
Hontengu and Gyoko are the upper ranks that are headed out on the mission for the blue spider lily.
Yeah. It worries me that it's like upper rank, right? Because although we did fight 2 with Gyutaru and Daki, they kind of shared the same number.
It was, I mean, they never referred to Daki as being,
Correct.
it was always Gyutaru, and that Daki was just kind of like
They were
the weakness, the burden, in the parallel of sibling, it's kind of like Nezuko in the box on Tanjiro's
Exactly,
shoulder,
yeah.
and hopefully that connection and Nezuko would not be a weakness to Tanjiro. And
which you could make the argument that she kind of is, because it's kind of like in other anime or other fights, it's like, okay, you're kind of like, don't, like, it's Mob Psycho, right?
Mhm.
I don't want to be rude, but you're a liability to have around right now. You're just another thing to keep on my mind and worry about.
Like,
obviously, Nezuko is incredibly strong. Like, we saw her
Mhm.
evolve into some demon thing
But
last
there's
season.
like a different thing when it comes to someone that you care about. Like, talking about this immediately brought me back to when Hinatsuru gets on top of the roof, even
Mhm.
though Uzui told her to leave.
Yep.
And she has that, like, kunai gun, basically.
hmm
And obviously, Tanjiro has to then step in and save her
Yeah.
from Gyutaru, because Gyutaru is so fast. But it's that same thing as when you care about someone that and they're in harm's way, then you're gonna possibly be a little more reckless
Yeah.
with yourself.
Yep. Because of your care and love, and you want to
Mhm.
protect them, right?
And Tanjiro did say the words that he was hoping that the secret weapon would make you stronger about Nezuko.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm anxious that we're gonna be fighting two different upper ranks, though, right? Gyoko and Hantengu.
Hantengu, I'm really interested in, mainly because the personality is so different than the other upper ranks. The other upper ranks are like oozing confidence.
Yeah.
Like, they are the most confident to have ever existed. It's probably because they all had like over 100 years to like love themselves. But the Hantengu, I'm like, there's this weird dynamic of like scared of the other demons that I'm like, is that like a facade? Is this like an act? Is this person like just this demon? Am I going down with a path with expectations of the personality of this demon, and it's gonna totally be different than what I had just seen of it?
I think that it could stay that way. I think that it could be like you could make a branch to Gyutaru, right?
Mhm.
And like how he was like disgusting, nasty. Like he could be like it's almost like fighting Zenitsu, right? What if this guy goes to sleep and he's like nuts?
I mean, it's safe to say that someone that is scared of conflict or wants to hide from conflict would possibly be very dangerous.
Yeah.
Involved in conflict.
I think that it could be a potential through like I don't know if it would be as clear as like, oh, he goes to sleep, you know, but I think that he is probably incredibly strong.
And very superstitious.
Yeah.
So
An
that's
odd
interesting
number,
too,
unlucky,
yes.
right? It's been 113 years since they've last been summoned due to a loss of an upper rank. That's crazy. That's a long time, man. Oh my god. Okay, from that little interaction we got in the Infinity Castle, which is the coolest name for anything I've ever heard in my
I'm so
entire
glad
life.
that we actually got to come back to the Infinity Castle. I mean, we first got it when the lower ranks were brought in
Yeah.
before Mugen Train.
It hit
and-
different, though.
And it was like obviously very terrifying then, but there was this cinematic movie theater quality pacing and composition and
Scale.
storyboarding and sound design that went on in just like Akaza's whole like traveling through the Infinity Castle. Like already I like Akaza character design wise, and I'm really intrigued by Akaza's like character and personality and backstory.
They make us feel very insane things for demons who we are like, who in a normal show or story would be like, oh, that's our antagonist, we hate them. They have so much personality and depth, and like that are obviously derived from their past lives that make us want to be like, let us know, tell
And
us
out of
everything.
all of the demons right now, Akaza is the one that it's basically like, okay, when are you gonna tell me the
Yeah.
backstory? When are you gonna let me know this demon a little bit better? Do I have to wait until Akaza is at death's door to get to know that backstory and cry for Akaza? Maybe. But when we got him with Rengoku, automatically got me very interested in Akaza. And then this whole kind of his vibe with all these other upper demons and this hostility he had, and
especially with Doma, I believe
Yeah.
his name is. And what was really
and the wanting to kill the upper one.
really interesting to me is, wanting to kill the upper one, him being older than Doma, and then surpassed by him in rank, and then to top it off, like, he has this hostility to them. But then I think back to the Rengoku fight, and he was, like, almost begging for, like, a friend challenger to, like, fight with or fight against so you can grow each other in strength, which
It's
is
like
such,
he wanted
like,
a rivalry, when really we're seeing, oh, like, Doma's supposed to be the rivalry, because Doma's like, are you jealous because I'm the one that brought the last, upper in, or whatever. And I'm like, so do they have somewhat of a rivalry? But, like, it seems like Akaza was, like, searching for his
Something
own
different.
actual rivalry, something different, something to push him. And he thought Rengoku could be that person turned demon that could push him to be stronger. It could be that he's been searching for something to make him stronger since he's been surpassed.
Since we only really get surface level stuff, there's a lot of speculation, right? I think that, like, from just speculation, I could see that like a point changing, like, Akaza loves fighting and respects strength and the, like, and battling and trying to improve in that, where somebody like Doma is putting people's heads on shelves and potentially has, like,
The
a
trophy
cult.
of it, yeah.
Like, he has, like, a following, right? And students.
Right.
So
they would obviously
disciples.
They already seem to differ in terms of why they want to be strong and what it means to
Personality,
be strong.
vibe, yeah. Interesting.
Values, if you can even say that demons, I guess they can have their own values.
Dude, when we get a fight in the Infinity Castle, it is going to break my mind. Because when you were complimenting everything correctly in the Infinity Castle, my top thing was the scale. Like, throughout that entire, like, beginning part with Akaza's travel, I was like, they are showing us the craziest fight scene ever right now, without showing us a fight. It's insane.
I mean, eventually the Biwa woman is going to have to be defeated.
Yeah.
So I guess whenever that battle comes might be the time of fighting in the Infinity Castle.
I think so. It probably would be towards, like, the climax, right? Interesting. I was gonna say, speaking of climax, and then make a Mitsuri, but
I
I'm
think
not gonna
I was
do
in
that.
your
Yeah,
brain
I
for
know.
a second.
Anyway, next on the list, what do you think about Doma? I think he is, like, a perfect example of, like, how interesting the writing is for these characters that we're up against. Because where Daki and Gyutaru and even Akaza are antagonists with personality and backstories that I sympathize with, Doma has some, like, psychotic serial killer energy to him that goes hand in hand with his, like, charisma that is utterly terrifying.
Like all the other demons, a lot of the other demons that we've gotten backstories for were all unfortunate children a lot of the time that had a bad life, had bad things happen to them, and then their solace or their savior was Muzan, giving them this second chance, if you will, at having a better life and being able to be strong.
Yeah.
And Doma doesn't strike me as someone who had a rough childhood. I really like you going with maybe he already was a serial killer psychopath person.
I don't know, man. He terrifies me. Yeah. He terrifies me because I like him. Like, I find his, like, little moments and, like, the way that he's drawn and, like, his voice acting's amazing. Like, and his faces, like,
they made him be kind of comedic and kind of almost warm in the creepiest way.
Yeah, I love him. Friendly. And I'm scared of that.
I was so excited as soon as we saw the, like, one shot of him entering the room and I realized who it was. I was so excited.
Yeah.
Because that was such a big moment of excitement for us in season 2 when we got that kind of glimpse at backstory for Gyutaru and Daki becoming demons. And I remember us being like, oh my god, are we ever gonna meet this character? Like, whoa. And the character design is great, and the eyes are scary.
You know what I liked about that? It's like, yeah, of course we're gonna focus on his eyes, but then there was a line of dialogue like, I'll gouge my eyes out for you, and Muzan was like, I don't want that shit. You know?
Your shitty
While
eyes,
he was like
I don't want that.
messing with beakers, like Dexter's Laboratory. It was awesome. You know what? I really like that Muzan isn't some big bad in a like gigantic throne with his legs crossed, you know, like looking all smug. I like that he is upside down, working with like science blood beakers with
He's
like a bookshelf in the background,
he's a
you know?
fancy dressed chemist at the moment. That's the role that he's playing right now.
I loved it. Okay. Kokushibo. What the fuck? What are we gonna do? What's happening? What happened? What caused this to happen? What am I to do?
So I believe the cloak, the outfit is purple and black check instead of green and black check.
Yeah.
And obviously doesn't have the Hanafuda earrings.
Correct.
So yeah, what is happening here? Is this, especially with the end of this episode, what we get, and there is the earrings? And
okay. Question 1. Are they the same people? The 3 different instances of getting a name of the number 1 upper rank demon being Kokushibo, getting the flashback with somebody who appeared to be Tanjiro's father, or at least blood relative for certain, and then the person at the end of the episode, which I believe to be a statue. Are they all the same people?
Part of me wants to say no. I feel very confused by the whole thing, but I will say that there's no way that Kokushibo would go anywhere near where the other 2 upper ranks are going on their mission. Because it seems like with Akasa's line to Domo, you know, like, it's not your mission.
Yeah.
You have not been sent anywhere by Muzan. So if Tanjiro is going to be meeting up with the 2 that are on the mission, then I'm just going to assume that upper 1 is not actually going to be involved there at all.
Yes. He also, at the end of the episode, when we got a look a little bit at him, it seemed like he had armor on as well, which leads me to believe, again, it was a statue of some kind, you know? He had
it's a really good statue.
It could be like a wax, you know, Madame Tussauds like wax museum.
Just in the middle of the forest.
Maybe, I don't know. We're looking for like a secret weapon. There's apparently a key. The Mist Hashira is looking for it. If it's that, maybe Mitsuri's the one who told the Mist Hashira that there's a secret weapon somewhere too. You know.
Maybe this is the reason why Mitsuri sent Tanjiro into the forest looking for a secret weapon, is because she knew there was this.
Yeah,
family connection.
Okay, if Kokushibo is the same person who is talking with what I believe to be Tanjiro's dad, then, like, based off of what he was saying and his mindset, what would lead him to wanting or becoming a demon?
I'm not sure. This representation is the one that spoke to at the end.
That
because the cloak is like a maroon.
Yeah.
Still has the earrings on.
Correct.
So statue or not.
They definitely have like...
That is the depiction that we saw talking to Tanjiro's dad. And wow, Tanjiro's dad looked exactly like Tanjiro.
Exactly like him.
And Tanjiro's mom looked exactly like Nezuko.
Yeah. So you're right, that it's like the person that we saw talking to what looked like Tanjiro's dad is definitely the person that we see at the end of the episode, seemingly. Mm-hmm. They have their hair in the same way, which is different from the number 1, Kokushibo. As well as when we did see Kokushibo, the scar was coming up from the bottom rather than down at the top.
There was actually a little bit right here.
Gotcha.
And then there was some coming up the chin as well.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a name for this swordsman talking to Tanjiro's dad. But I have to believe that it's still possible that Tanjiro was named something in relation to this person, even if it's not directly their name.
Yeah. I could believe that. Man.
And this is, okay, I'm trying to think. Muzan envisions this enemy, if you will, especially when he saw the earrings that Tanjiro wears.
Memories.
Oh, no, Daki saw them. Daki saw them
Yep.
in season 2. And it is this person.
Yep. It seems like it, right? I'm just like, what led you to become a demon, man? If it is the same person.
I mean, they could still be alive, 100%.
And the sword is different. I understand that once you transform into a demon, that can change, especially
you can look however you want, basically.
Especially when the whole aspect, seemingly, of Kokushibo, which definitely caught me off guard, was the multiple eyes, right? He has 6 eyes, and then on Kokushibo's blade, it looked like there were eyes on his blade, instead of it just being the same one that we saw in the flashback, which, again, could also change because of,
Yeah, I think
transformation.
I think we're supposed to be theorizing right now. Twin siblings, family connection. Is this a stain? Upper one, obviously. Oh well, that it can't be the same person unless he can change to look like a human. Because if he's obviously been a demon for over 100 years, and it's not like Tanjiro's dad's been alive for that long.
Yeah.
So. I think that this might be a similar situation to what the Master has going on with Muzan being a stain on his family line. That this could also be a stain on Tanjiro's family line.
Yeah. And the person that we were seeing talking to, Tanjiro's ancestor could have been fighting against this kind of thing. They could have been brothers, or they could have been an ancestor, like you said. That's a good guess. But his sword definitely has eyes on it, right?
Very cool.
God, his design is terrifying. It's great.
It's great.
Yeah, it's just
the hair is
unsettling.
Great. The eyes are great.
Yeah. Blue Spider Lily. So we got like the family who's holding this is in hiding still, right?
Yes, and the first time I think we heard about it was when Muzan was pretending to be a small child.
I believe so, and doing research.
Yes.
If I had to make a guess, it would make it so that demons would have the ability to be out during the day. That would be my best guess.
I want to go back. I mean, and I just wonder if Muzan said why he was looking for it. I'm sure he did say
In which?
why he was looking for it back when he was a kid version of himself researching it. I think it's when Akaza showed up at whatever house Muzan was living at, and Akaza showed up outside of the house.
I want to say that was at the
end of Mugen Train.
End of like the Mugen Train arc.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it kind of, I feel like it was, or maybe the next episode after.
It might have been an after credit to the. It was in there somewhere.
It was somewhere.
And I remember a shot of seeing, I think, a book with a depiction of it. Yes.
I was unable to locate the Blue Spider Lily.
Akaza was looking for it. Okay.
And I will continue to do the utmost. And that's when Muzan was like,
It doesn't matter if you dispose of one Hashira, that means nothing to me, basically. So we don't know why he's looking for it. He doesn't say.
I'm seeing if he did beforehand when he was reading the books.
Okay.
I think all we got that it was like some powerful thing that he wants to obtain and needs to obtain, and which leads me to believe that it could be the thing that would turn the tides even further and potentially wipe out the Demon Slayer Corps.
Which could possibly be protecting the demons from the sun. Because, okay, if Muzan's greatest fear that Daki saw a memory of was this relative of Tanjiro's in front of him, and we know about, Hinokami Kagura, that maybe the Blue Spider Lily is what can combat that from being the way that could kill Muzan.
Yeah, I think that's
It seems like he never wants change. He obviously wants immortality forever,
yep.
and he wants nothing to change. So he
Yeah.
obviously needs to obtain something that can ensure his victory in that.
He hates degradation, decay. He wants things to be infinite, everlasting, and not changing at all.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Mhm.
I liked like his language that he used there. What do you think is the deal with Doma's disciples? Do you think
I
that
kind of like your idea that he has his own like little cult.
do you think that they're like I don't know. Do you think that they're demons? Do you think that they're
I don't know, 'cause
humans?
he could also he could have this little cult that thinks of him as like a god
Yeah.
like figure. I could totally see that.
It was really interesting. He had like a hat that he put on.
And I'm like, why are you covering such the cool addition to your hair?
Okay. Last talking about like the whole Kokushibo at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Why could Tanjiro dream of this interaction? Do you like it obviously has to be somewhat real, right?
Oh, yeah, I 100% believe this scene was real.
And why was Tanjiro able to like dream of it?
Well, Tanjiro's family connections are really, really strong.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna go with. Especially with what happened throughout the first season and then even in season 2, that his family members appeared to both him and Nezuko, you know, in order to push them forward and get them out of tough situations.
Yeah. I mean,
So maybe it's just the family connection is really strong with this family.
how much more vague could you get than I failed to protect anything that was important to me? And throughout my life, I was unable to do what I was supposed to
It's the
do.
most. It is
Like-
very big, yeah.
But like we could attach that to anything. Like the whole, like what you were just talking about. Like if it was a family ancestor who had turned into the demon and that's what they were trying to do, you know, to wipe them out and remove the blemish or stain on their history or family line. That
I
could-
have to assume
know.
that this character's a demon slayer though,
Yeah.
because of the sword.
It looks like a black Nietzsche ring sword with a gold grip.
And then
right?
obviously we get the shot of all of the other Hashira basically standing behind him.
Yeah. And then Tanjiro is waking up so sad, so sad. I don't know, man. It's so interesting. I like live for the lore. Little sidebar. This episode looked amazing. All like the animation, the compositing,
Like
everything
not
was
just
so
the
good.
Infinity Castle.
Yeah.
Obviously that was
Amazing.
it's amazing to start out with. But I think I definitely appreciated that there was a good, healthy amount of comedic moments in this introduction to this season. I think that that's one of the things that I like about this series is that while there is awesome fights and great animation and cool character design, a cool concept of like demons and demon slayers, and all that's awesome, but little comedic energy to show off and showcase why the personalities of these characters are so endearing.
Yep.
It's something I also appreciate because then it makes it so you want to cheer them on even more and you don't want anything bad to happen to them because
Yeah.
they're so endearing and you want to hug them and keep them safe because they're just so adorable and funny.
Yeah. 2 months a coma. Like
In
it's
a
not
coma
that
for 2
surprising, I
months.
guess. But,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, by the injuries,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that all of them were at least in a coma for a month, it
yeah.
seems.
Didn't you also feel like there was more of a focus on those two relationships between Tanjiro and Kenao, and then Inosuke and how do you say it?
Owie?
Aoi?
Ow?
Ow? Yeah,
Ow?
maybe. But didn't you feel like
Could
there
be
was like
wrong.
a little bit more focus on that?
Ow started crying talking about Inosuke before
Yeah.
they realized that Inosuke was overhead. So yes, and then Kanao obviously
smile.
spoke up like about Tanjiro being asleep.
Yeah.
And just the dropping of the vase, she was obviously bringing flowers into his room, which is the sweetest thing ever. And we know with the coin toss, the coin flip, that obviously, how could she not have immediately fallen in love with Tanjiro after that? But we also know that it's pretty easy for a lot of people to fall in love with Tanjiro.
Yeah.
We saw that in this episode, that
That's true.
he has a way with people
Yeah.
and getting into their hearts.
I think that Inosuke being on the ceiling was one of the best moments of the episode. I loved it.
Good.
I did want to talk about, like you just said, falling in love with Tanjiro. The character I fell in love with the most, Goto, hands down, best character in the show now. I just like, I love his like his devotion, consistency, and how he's always like interacting with Tanjiro in like in all these tragedies and tragic events that are occurring. And he goes about his day and wants to bring him treats for his sense of smell to maybe wake him up. You know, like he's like, I don't know, he's a hard worker. I love him.
It was like a better version of Tanjiro's love for Murata when we came to Shinobu's house or this place last time after the Spider family, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the 23 years old, and these children have far surpassed him.
He's an old man in this world.
He's an old man in this world.
It's hard to live here. You know, if you're putting yourself as a Kakushi or a demon slayer themselves, you're putting yourself like in the front lines of death.
I mean, you're literally carrying around people for all day, every day.
I love how complicated the route is to get to the Swordsmith Village, but also the Master's like palace too. It makes a lot of sense though. Like, why would you want it to be that that easy to find? You'd need it to be that complex.
So now, like, all I can imagine is that when we got Tanjiro arriving to the Master's mansion and all the Hashira were there, now I have this image in my head of all of these, what are they called? Kakushi, with every single one of them having a different Hashira on their back, all running to the mansion for this meeting. I mean, maybe once you're a Hashira, you get special permission to arrive on your own and know the location. Possibly.
How are the upper ranks going to get there? Are they going to be able to just be teleported? Are they going to just be so good that they're able to find their own way? Are they going to follow somebody there? You know?
Do they torture someone to find out the location? That's also possible.
That sounds awful.
I mean, yes, it sounds awful, but it's believable at the same time.
You are right. So we all went our separate ways and then learned that Zenitsu is in a land far away. You know, crying there and maybe
being very loud,
being a little annoying to his fellow swordsmen. And we get to the Swordsmith Village. I feel really bad for Haganeska. I understand why he gets very irritated now when his swords break, whether it is or is not his fault, like depending on who you ask, you know.
Because he's gonna get punished for it.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't think it's his fault and he thinks
where do you think he's at?
Fault. Standing underneath a waterfall.
I in my mind he's
in a
like
cave somewhere.
Maybe in a cave somewhere in the woods, but he's fashioned like a makeshift dummy Tanjiro that he's just like staring at and taking his rage out on.
He has a Tanjiro voodoo doll.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. So what do you think of the Swordsmith Village?
Very quaint and cute and a sweet location, and as soon as you said that you hope a battle doesn't happen there, all I could think about was the destruction that happened to the entertainment district.
Yeah.
So yes, I completely do not want a battle to happen here because it is a very cute, sweet village that seems like a really great place to relax and rejuvenate with the hot spring.
Do you think any of the swordsmiths can fight? Like, part of me wishes that we could watch the chief, this like little chief, suit up and like you know, kick some ass.
I would assume they would have to be able to protect their own village when the village itself is so important.
Yeah.
So I would think that they'd be talented swordsmen themselves.
Yeah. He gave Haganeska his name, Hotaru. So cute, right? Mm-hmm. And then a little bit after that is when we were introduced to Mitsuri.
Yes.
Cool, interesting character. You know, I like the depth that they're already putting into her, and yeah, she just seems really cool. Do you think that there's a secret weapon in the village?
Yeah,
actually.
totally. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. No.
No,
I
you
know.
don't?
I don't think so.
I genuinely.
If it is, it's gonna be. But because of which Hashira said it to him,
Yeah.
makes me think that it's not as literal, like a sword
Yeah.
or an actual secret weapon, and more like friendship,
Abstract.
love, and more abstract.
Yeah, and
she
she would
seems
be like, "You
she
thought I was serious? You thought I was talking about like a sword? What?"
Yeah, and it was maybe just because she knew the Mist Hashira was there
Maybe.
and wanted Tanjiro to bump into him.
Perhaps.
Could have been anything.
I-
I just don't know if I think that she would have said it literally.
I genuinely love her though. Like I think that her idea of being like, yeah, no, I really want to find like a strong, awesome guy to be with.
And he needs
where
to be stronger than me.
I can't just run into a random Hashira. I need to be around them, and in order to do that, I need to become a Hashira. I'm like, I'm in. I'm sold. That's all you have to say. But I love her love for Nezuko as well. She kind of reminds me of Chika from Kaguya-sama Love is War.
It makes me really happy now after we got that. We were so upset by how the Hashira were talking and acting when Nezuko and Tanjiro were brought to the Master's mansion.
Mhm.
And we were so scared. We were so upset, obviously, because we've followed these siblings and we knew and we wanted Nezuko to be safe and okay.
Yeah.
So it does make me really happy that since then we've gotten Rengoku acknowledging, Tengen acknowledging Tengen's wives, and that funny interaction after she put Tengen on fire.
Yeah. Man, I'm excited to learn a little bit more about Tokito. We already learned a little bit about how
The youngest, right?
yeah, and
He's-
like how powerful he is and how quick. Like I thought it was like a couple months.
Yeah, he was
basically.
very quick to
Become
become
a
a
Hashira.
Hashira.
So like I'm excited to learn about him, but I'm a little worried about what his character is going to be like now, because how he's coming off at the end of the episode is very stern, overconfident, and cocky, and like, give me the key. What key? You know?
But yeah, it could be seen as stern or overconfident, or it could just be seen like he's a man on a mission and he's like, I want the key, why aren't you giving it to
My
me?
ancestor made this, and it's precious to me. Don't you think that it could be a statue of this guy? He's not talking. He's not moving.
It's possible. They could just be totally tricking us here to make us think it's a real person.
It's interesting, man. I hope Tanjiro grows his hair out again and then gets like some cool armor.
Yes.
I miss Tanjiro's long hair.
We liked when he grew out his hair.
It was great. I loved it so much. But hey, he doesn't need it. He makes everybody who he meets fall
in love with
Yeah.
him just by his words.
I'm really happy to be back watching this. It still feels like a little surreal. Like I can't believe we just watched a new episode of Demon Slayer. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And it obviously fits for Sundays perfectly. There's something about watching Demon Slayer on Sundays that I think is the perfect day of the week to watch Demon Slayer.
We did think that it was going to come out at like
Early.
8 a.m.
We
or
thought it
9
was going to
a.m.
be
our
early.
time.
So this was a surprise.
Yeah,
The time was a surprise.
but it's the time of my life watching this show. I just feel so like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it. It's like nostalgic.
Comfortable.
Almost. Yeah.
That's why I said that Sunday, I mean, if it was the morning, it would have probably fit even better for that nostalgia kind of feeling.
You know what it's like in my head when I was like first watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid, like in my head it's replayed as like the craziest animation, the best storytelling, the most intense thing ever. And then when I go back and rewatch it, I'm like, that's my nostalgia talking, like for a lot of it. But with this, it's like real. Like it's actually that like insane and intense and so good and beautiful, like a perfect work of art. I just love it. It's so cool. All right, that's all I have.
Can all of the episodes be 40 minutes,
Please.
please?
I'm gonna hate going back to like 22.
This didn't even, honestly, like, I didn't even notice that it was long because I was so into it, but now I'm like, can all of them be this long?
Yep, I'm with you. We didn't even talk about the naked Genya moment with Tanjiro.
You can't, I thought, honestly, Tanjiro was onto something with thinking that the perfect time for bonding with someone that's difficult to bond with was nakedness.
That's what Mitsuri
I
thought
mean,
too, apparently.
So,
You know? But nope. Genya's just not friendly. He's out
No.
there doing his own. I wonder if
a
Genya...
brother, the possibility
Maybe
of...
he kidnapped Haganeska. Maybe both of them are hanging out in the woods somewhere. You know?
Yep. I could see him being like a hunter-gatherer that doesn't want to live in this nice room that they have prepared for him, and he might just like be in a cave somewhere
I think we
hunting
got
for his own food.
on Rengoku's death. We got to look at him and the Wind Hashira, and they were both in the woods.
Mhm.
I wonder what happened between like the whole brother sibling thing too to make them so against each other.
So I wasn't thinking. I don't know all of the Hashira's name, but I wasn't thinking that's who the brother was.
I'm not saying that it is. It could be, but I'm like his brother, whoever it is. I wonder what happened like in between the two.
I'm thinking it's the Wind
Yeah.
Hashira.
That could
There's
be.
something about the personality that's so similar to me.
Yeah.
And the Wind Hashira is the one that was the most antagonistic to Nezuko.
Yeah. Oh, maybe they do kind of have similar like haircuts. No, I don't know. They have similar
The
vibes.
eyes, there's something about it that's as soon as we
Oh,
heard
that
a
would make
name
more
and
sense, you're
heard
right.
Hashira possibility. I don't know all of the Hashira's names, because we got them briefly, and we
season
were
one.
also like awestruck of, oh my god, we're with Tanjiro
We
meeting all
lost
the
our
Hashira.
notebooks during a move. We have to use new notebooks without our previous notes.
But my guess is the Wind Hashira.
God, that's gonna be an arc when we get to like hang out with him.
I mean, especially because we so disliked him when we met him.
Yeah.
That those were the brothers.
All right, that's all I have to do.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.